Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me again, Sage Christine, and in today's video we're going to be talking about, have you ever been too deep in a romantic connection? So let's get straight into the video. First topic is when you're in too deep. When you're in too deep into a romantic connection or a romantic relationship where you're so emotionally invested, any potential warning signs, or you forget your own needs or ignore your own needs. You feel like intuitively, like in your gut, you ever get like, you have a gut feeling or you just know. Let's say like when you're around this person, you constantly feel anxious or on edge, but you just ignore it because you think, you know what? Maybe that's just how relationships are. Like, maybe this is how I'm meant to feel in relationships. Sometimes we may mistake intensity for love, and that's not the case. Love doesn't have to feel so intense or overwhelming, or you don't need to be in a romantic connection that feels intense constantly 24/7 and overwhelming that you feel drained. Okay, you don't want to be in a constant emotional roller coaster in a romantic relationship. That's actually not a good sign at all, and you should go talk to somebody. I would say for me, I knew I was in too deep when I was dealing with a guy. I heard so many things about him. Like I heard so many things about this potential person. I heard him about messing with other girls, being someone who, plays around with other women's feelings, emotions, or heart. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna ignore it because when I'm with him, it feels different. Like the energy feels different, the vibe feels different. Yeah, that's me being emotionally invested way too deep, because if I used my logic, I would have seen like that's a red flag. Like, why every time we step out we hear a new story? Yeah, I swear to God, it was like every time I would hang out with him or see him, like go live my day-to-day life, I would be hearing a new story about homeboy. Like it was getting scary. And because I kept hearing things about him, I could never feel happy. I could never enjoy the connection, which it wasn't even a good one to begin with, but I can never truly enjoy it. I just felt emotionally drained and confused and anxious and upset. The second topic I want to talk about is the importance of communication. And I know we covered that in the first video, but I want to reinforce that again in the second video. And what I mean by importance of good communication is about being heard and understood. You don't want someone to tolerate you when you're trying to communicate what you're trying to say. So you ever had like a conversation, an argument, or even a disagreement with someone? They're not listening to you as you express exactly how you feel. Yeah, that is communicating without understanding. When you communicate with someone, or when you choose to communicate with someone, you want to find somebody that is open to hear you out, like emotionally open to hear you out, and they're not going to shut you down or shut you off, because some people would just let you talk just to let you talk. You want someone who's invested in your emotional well-being and what you have to say and how you express yourself, and who's willing to is solution-based and growth-based in the relationship. You don't want to talk to someone and y'all be talking and y'all talk and y'all talk and y'all talk and y'all talk, and it doesn't go nowhere and it doesn't lead anywhere. Having a conversation with someone, it might be uncomfortable. You might feel silly, or you might feel dumb or stupid, quote unquote, for saying things out loud, or you might feel insecure about the things you may be saying out loud. But I'm telling you, it benefits in the very long run. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable to your partner, to create understanding in the relationship. I say that to say is they know exactly how you feel. And I always say this to like anybody, like it's better that someone knows exactly how you feel rather than them assuming. You say exactly how you feel, you know how they move going forward, what to do. So let's say I told my partner, hey babe, like I don't like when you talk to me crazy, when you yell at me, when you shout at me, right? You let that be known. Either they could do one thing, right? They change the way they talk to you, they keep that in mind, or they keep doing what they're doing, and that's yelling and shouting at you. Then okay, this is how I'm going to move next. It's also important to have open conversation and to be emotionally vulnerable when you're communicating with your partner, is because sometimes we think we're communicating about an issue when we're really just talking around it. I've also experienced that as well in like romantic connections where we're not actually really talking about how we feel. I know there's been times where like some things really hurt me, but I'm not really talking about how I feel. But we're going to talk about Bob again. We're going to bring Bob up a lot. So let's say I'm talking to Bob and I'm telling Bob, like, hey, Bob, I don't really trust you. Like, I don't really trust you. I don't trust the things that you're saying to me. I just feel uncomfortable. I have a really hard time trusting you. When in reality, I should tell Bob, I've been hearing about you and dealing with other women, and it makes me not trust you, and it makes me not trust what you're saying. And not only that, Bob, I've caught you in several lies. So what is going on? You know, you have to be open and honest and not fear conflict when you're communicating with someone. Another thing, be able to express how you feel without feeling bad. Like, it's okay if certain topics that you want to talk to with your partner feels uncomfortable or feels like wild or out there, or even strange, but it's better to say how you feel, even if it does feel weird. Like, sometimes I've literally been like, don't look at me, to someone that I was talking to, trying to have a serious conversation, because it's like, I just, you know, you're just making me a little bit uncomfortable. I feel a little like it's hard to say what I need to say, but like I still want to communicate with you, because I'd rather say it out loud than not say it at all. If you're communicating with someone, or someone is trying to communicate with you, remember to listen. listen. Actively listen. Don't be someone who listens to respond. Listen and digest what they're saying. People, they just listen to you talk, and you're talking, they come up with a thought and they be like, oh, I'm gonna say that next. No, listen and actually like listen to what someone is saying, right? Listen and sit with the thought and think about it, and then express how you feel. I used to avoid uncomfortable topics out of fear, out of insecurity, and it made me realize how detrimental it was to the relationship. Making your relationship a safe space and creating a safe space in your relationship so that you both are able to come together and sit and talk about uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable topic. There's no way every time someone wants to express how they feel, you're constantly blowing up all the time. Like, we don't always have to be so defensive. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people are trying to express how they feel and they're not trying to hurt you. Sometimes it's not about you. Not everything is personal. We just need to hear what they have to say at face value. Don't be too emotionally reactive. Like, the first thing they say, it sets you off. Like, oh, da, da, da. No. Like, just listen. Creates a way where someone was like, I don't really feel comfortable talking to you, because every time I try to express myself to you, you get upset, you get angry, and like I feel kind of defeated. So I think it's best to create a calm environment, or like an environment where things are good or okay. You cannot throw something in someone's face when they're like angry or upset. It's better to wait when everything is cool, calm, and collective and chill. You can talk about problems all day. You can talk about the issues that y'all have in your relationship every single day. But if y'all don't have the same value, emotional needs, or long-term goals, none of that shit matters. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, none of that matters. Like, you're just chatting for real. Because say I believe in open, honest communication and honesty, but I'm with the liar. I really think the liar is gonna really take in when I'm saying like, oh, the liar don't care about that, because they don't see the value in being an honest person. If I'm a liar with someone who's honest, why I care what they have to say? Even though that's like a very extreme example, but communicating isn't just about yourself. It's about making sure both parties or both people in the relationship feel safe and secure and value in the conversation. I just want to let it know, y'all. I always say this, but if I catch me looking to the side, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Another thing, and this is the most important thing that I've learned: do they even like you? You really gotta sit there and do you even like them? Sometimes we get too caught up in the fact that we're being liked and adored and desired, and sometimes we like the validation of being liked, we like the attention of being liked or chased, that we forget, like, do I even like you? Do they even like me? And it can work both ways. And why I say that is because sometimes something that I realize is I was dealing with someone and I realized he don't like me. Like, he don't like me for me. Like, he don't like me for me. He don't ask me questions about me. He's not trying to get to know me or my interests, what I like, what I dislike. He's not trying to get to know me beyond surface level. Like, he just wants to stay surface level. And the surface level wasn't even enough. Like, you know, and that's what made me realize he don't like me. He just likes the validation that I give him off the fact that he knows that I like him. Sometimes we can even operate like that. Like, oh, I don't even like you for real. I just like the fact that you like me, that you're showing me attention because it makes me feel good about myself. If you need to know, do they even like you? You need to ask yourself, are you always the one initiating conversation? Are you always the one initiating when you're going to hang out? Planning on when you guys are going to hang out. Putting the details when y'all gonna hang out. Are you the one keeping the connection alive? Like, if you don't text them at all, if you don't text back first at all, will they text you? Will they wait a whole 24 hours, even another 24 hours, and another one after that before they respond to you? Will they watch all your stories, see that you texted them, and not respond to you? You realize that sometimes when you pull away, when you start being a little distant and pull away, that's when they try to pull you back in. They might like a little story of yours. I hit you up, be like, hey, how are you? I was thinking about you. But they don't carry a conversation after that, or the conversation be super, super dry after that. Yeah, if they also do that, they don't like you. They're just breadcrumbing you so you can stay, you know, a little longer. They might say a couple things like, oh, I like you, or I want to be with you, but their actions don't show that at all. Like, they don't even do the bare minimum. Like, sometimes you're in a connection with someone and you realize the only thing that they're interested in is physical intimacy. That's when you get the most text backs. That's when you realize, like, when you text them, they're responding quick as hell. Like, super duper fast. Whatever they're trying to get from you, you know, like, you peep, like, oh, they're responding really fast. But when it's anything else, they don't say nothing. Yeah, baby, they don't like you. They're just running game on you, actually. They're playing in your face. It goes back to the long hours without communication, checking up on you, not hitting you up, only texting you out of convenience. They probably even text you late at night out of convenience when they're bored, whatever the case may be. Those type of people, I say they're freaking pathetic. Like, your confidence and self-esteem and self-worth is so low that you have to use other people just to feel good about yourself. Like, you cannot create that from within. Is insane. At the end of the day, a romantic relationship should not feel one-sided. It should feel like both people are giving to the connection mutually. In a date, they plan a date. I text first one day, they text first one day. I initiate the conversation one day, they initiate the conversation one day. And it's not surface level shit. Like, they're genuinely trying to get to know me, who I am as a person. Don't settle for anyone just because they're showing you an inch of intention, because not all attention is good intention. Knowing when to walk away. Leaving a romantic connection could be really hard because sometimes we may feel like, oh, we'll never find someone like this again. I'll never get to experience someone like this, or I love them so much. How can I love someone else? You need to know when to walk away from a romantic connection, okay? Because sometimes we stay in situations that block us from our blessings. Because if you don't leave a situation, you'll never know how good it gets. I was in a relationship, and every single day I used to be like, there's no way this is all that there is. I'm dealing with, what I'm putting up with, this is as good as it gets. There's just no way. This cannot be my life. And there was moments where I would think about being with the person long term, and I would just kind of like cringe or be like, feel defeated. Like, you ever be thinking about your future and you're like so excited about your future and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait for this, I can't wait for that. And then you think about your partner you're with and you be like, ugh. Yeah, that's a sign you need to walk away. Like, you need to leave the relationship. You need to leave the connection, and you're unhappy. A healthy relationship isn't about holding on to a connection. It's about growing together as a unit. And if you're the only one doing the work, if you're the only one carrying the relationship, if you're the only one putting in the effort into the relationship and trying to make it work, trying to find ways to improve and grow, then it's time to walk away and let go. You cannot emotionally carry a relationship. You're going to get burnt out and exhausted. Walking away isn't giving up, it's choosing yourself. And always remember that. And sometimes it feels hard in the moment. It really does feel hard in the moment. You're like, I don't know what's going to happen next. Sometimes we're scared to leave people because we might be scared of what's to come. But before you met them, you've lived a life. And after you met them, and now that you're going to leave them, you're going to live even more life. I know for me, example, when I broke up with my ex at the time, before breaking up with them, I was just thinking about like, oh my God, like, what is my life gonna look like? And because we talk every single day, this is like, I had a routine set where I saw them often, and I just kept wondering, like, oh my God, what is life gonna look like? And then once we broke up, I felt like my life did a whole 180 for the good. Like, I was taking trips, I was being more social, I was learning new things about myself, like how independent I am actually on my own, and how many people actually genuinely like me when I show up as myself and show my personality, because I was in a relationship where I was constantly with my partner. Like, we were damn near codependent on each other. But when I finally left, I was doing so many things, meeting so many people, experiencing so many things, so many happy emotions, pouring into different connections like my friends and my family, and they felt so good. And I felt like I would have not experienced all of that if I was still in that relationship. Just getting to know me and understanding myself better, I felt like I went through a whole change, especially with my looks and how I expressed myself and my confidence and my self-worth, and getting to know who I was as a person. Like, I really value being single. I love it because I feel like I met so many versions of myself ever since leaving that relationship. You need to know when to walk away, because love is never enough in a romantic connection. Love will never be enough. Like, me personally, I think love will never be enough to sustain a relationship, because someone could say they love you but then stab you in your back. Someone could say they love you but they're cheating on you. Someone could say they love you but they're lying to you and manipulating you and gaslighting you. Someone could say they love you but they disregard your feelings. They're actually very dismissive towards your feelings. They make you feel small. They're cursing you out. They're putting their hands on you. And someone could say they love you, but do all those things. It's harmful to you as a person. At the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself and your happiness. Yes, I love this person. Yes, I invested so much time in this person, but are we growing for the better? There are hard times in romantic connections. Doing the hard times together, right? We're working towards it. We're coming up with a plan and solutions to work towards our hard time. And it feels like it's a constant cycle of bad times. It's like I can't see no end. More good times. The good times are gone. The good times are sparse. The good times are 15 minutes. Do you know you have 30 minutes? It's not worth staying in. And I don't feel like every relationship is worth staying in. It's okay to leave. I feel like this relationship no longer serves me. It's no longer for my best good. I'm going to leave. And sometimes we need to be okay with walking away from situations. And even though it is scary, because you may have created a life with this person, you have routines with this person, or you're just simply comfortable being with this person. Like, you're okay with dealing with their stuff, but how harmful and detrimental it is to you. Because sometimes we stay in situations and our self-worth is going down, our self-esteem is going down, how we value ourselves is going down. The other person makes us feel like no one would ever want to be with us and all we have is them. And that is not the case. You are valuable, you are lovable, and you deserve love that makes you feel happy and fulfilled. And always remember, when you are in a romantic connection, it's always a bonus. It's always an add-on. Do not make a romantic connection your whole life. No one in this entire world will ever make you feel whole. I'm so serious. No one will ever make you feel whole. You will constantly be searching and looking. Every time somebody leaves your life, you're always going to be constantly looking for someone to make you feel whole. No one can make you feel whole. The only person that make you feel whole is you, because you have to make your life fulfilling. At the end, you have to make life fulfilling for you. Seriously. Like, I'm so serious. Like, and that's something I learned. Someone could be my better half, but I know if my better half was to wake up one day and say he doesn't want to be with me anymore, I'm okay with that. Like, I mean, obviously I'm going to be hurt. If you want to leave me, I'm going to let you walk away, because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. And this is what I was to talk. When you walk away, don't spin the block. Please, y'all, please don't spin the block. Do not spin the block. Don't spin the block. Like, when you decide to walk away, do not spin the block. Please stand firm on your decision and your boundaries. Because either one, you can get right back into the toxic cycle, or maybe you were in a committed relationship with someone and that was giving situationship. It could just drag out what's meant to die. You know, it's like kicking a dead horse. Like, I don't advise to spin the block. It's a privilege for someone to be in your life. Please remember that. Please carry within yourself, like, it's a privilege to be in my life. It's a privilege to know when I wake up and go to sleep and what's my day-to-day like, what's my routine. It's a privilege to know my personality and my quirks and who I am as a person. It's a privilege to know my family and my close friends. And like, it's a privilege to know who you are. You as a person is a privilege to know who you are as a person, and remember that. So like, for some people it may not be that deep, but for others it's like they build so much around this person, and that person is their whole world. And I don't think anyone should be your whole world. I really think that you should be your whole world. They could be the moon. You should not be orbiting around someone and consuming them. Like, no, you need to make sure you have a life outside. Make sure you have a life outside of your romantic connection. And don't be with anyone who wants to isolate you. Like, me personally, like, if I'm going to be in a romantic connection, I need you to know that you are a bonus in my life, and I am a bonus in your life, because you add on to my happiness that I already have, and I add on to the happiness that you already have. But I have friends, I have hobbies, I have family, I have goals, I have my own goals and aspirations. Have conversations with your partner just to see where y'all are at and how you both feel about the relationship. I definitely advise check-in so you both can be on the same page, so you know where you're going. And also, if you know if this is a relationship you want to continue or to stay. Guys, it's me. I forgot to record an outro, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video on the second installment of the things I've learned romantically. I hope it was very helpful. I hope that, you gain a lot of things. And also in the comment section, please tell me what are some things that you learned, in romantic relationships. And have you ever realized like you were a little deep into a connection there? I got some stories to share. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for the third and last video of things that I've learned romantically, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye.